Yo,
what's up, D.E.B.O? My guy, what's good with you, my guy?
What's up?
All is well, fam. What you got going on,
Bro, we gotta do a podcast, bro.
Oh shoot, off the cuff?
Off the cuff.
Off the cuff. Let's do it.
Let's go.
We fly, just like rockets in the sky. Yeah, we fly, just like rockets in the sky. We take off, we blast off, we stay up, we lift off, we too high, can't catch up, we too high, can't catch up. Yeah, we fly.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy D.E.B.O with D.E.B.O Music Group and A Moment with D and SOSA. My boy SOSA is not here on today, but I need y'all to welcome to the show our very special guest, the one, the only Robinson, Mr.
Yo, what's going on, y'all, man?
What's up, bro?
It's so good to be here, bro. I mean, it's kind of crazy because none of this was planned.
None of it was planned.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta thank my boy. He came with the right snack, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't name drop the snacks. We're not gonna get no copyright infringement,
right?
You feel what I'm saying? But he came through with the right stuff.
Yes,
so
sir.
We need to talk, man. Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yes, sir.
Real talk.
Appreciate
you for having me. Bro.
All right, bro. Let's tell them a little history about yourself.
Okay.
You go on.
Yeah, man. All right, bet, man. I'm from the city, man. 704 Buzz City. Queen City, I always say. Charlotte, the best up-and-coming city on this side of the Mason-Dixon. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody mess with it. Yeah, man, Charlotte, North Carolina's been a home for me, man. Went to school here, K3 all through 12th grade. Yeah. Went to Victory Christian, which was my granddad's school of origin. My dad went there. My mom went there. You know, I went there. My siblings went there. Yep. You know what I mean? And just, you know, going from that to really branching out on my own. I played a year of lacrosse at Monterey College. You know, that was a new experience. But after doing that for a year, I said, you know, it's time for me to be a businessman. You know what I mean? So started and launched my own marketing company, specifically with politics and as far as campaigns or non-profit organizations, helping them get their message out through grassroots marketing activities. Yeah. I've ran social media pages. Let's see, man. I also do promotions as far as events go. I've worked with some of the top talent in the world as far as putting together talent. I'm not putting together talent, but putting together shows. Yeah. And I've worked on BBD. I work with BBD as far as doing their animations and stuff for stage production. They don't even know me, but when they were dancing, all the graphics that was in the background, that was me. I'm one of them behind the scene guys. Nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scene. Done promotions for parties, for movies. I did the This Is It barbecue and seafood documentary down in Atlanta. Okay. We sold out the Fox Theater. Let's see, I did the show promotion and sold tickets for the Raheem Devon, Marsha Ambrosius tour when they came down to Raleigh, North Carolina. We sold out the Duke Energy Performing Arts Center. Shout out to Soul Series Incorporated, partnered up with them. And then on another tip, man, I've done some acting, man. I've been in a couple of independent web series, done some things on my own. Growing up, did some theater, did the evolution of black gospel music down in the Blumenthal. So, you know, I've done a lot of things, man. I've lived a good life, man. And, you know, God just keeps blessing, bro.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Bro. That's it. Small introduction to me.
Yeah. No. And for those of you who don't know, if you remember a few months ago, I had Craig Scott on the show. It's through Jay, not Craig.
Yeah, Craig the homie.
Yeah, Craig. No, shout out to Craig.
I saw Craig yesterday.
Oh, for real?
Craig was in Charlotte. Craig was in Charlotte. Shout out Craig, man.
Shout out Craig. He's definitely going to be on the show. Bro, he got stories to tell, too.
Man, Craig is the Robin Hood of the hood. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Robin Hood, no Miriam. You know what I'm saying? No Miriam. My boy was giving right back to the pole, taking them. It don't matter, boy.
Yes,
nah,
sir.
Craig is a phenomenal guy, man. Talented guy, well spoken, articulate, and not only does he have stories to tell, but you can learn a lot from Craig.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Craig is one of them. He that's what it is. He Craig Craig is
Yeah.
No cap.
This actually is going to transition us to what I want to talk about.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, bro, you're good. So when I had Craig on the show, I asked him to give me his unpopular opinion / conspiracy theory. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. What's your unpopular opinion that people would like be like, whoa, or / conspiracy theory that people would be like, whoa?
All right, so I'm a natural conspiracy theorist based off the definition. So for anybody who knows me, I'm not even gonna go political because I just said I do things in a political world. You know, I work in that industry, so it's like I feel like that'd be too cliche to give a political conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give something. I'm gonna get something crazy. I believe the NBA rigs the NBA draft.
Ooh.
I believe the NBA draft is rigged, and it has been proven multiple occasions, especially in the reference of Patrick Ewing's draft. I feel like the NBA, and it might not be in the Adam Silver era. It could be strictly David Stern. But I feel like the NBA draft has been manipulated and has been used to sell jerk. Like even Shaq to Orlando. I feel like all of it has been scripted to help out certain teams or to make the industry or the NBA look good in certain markets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like the audience, and this is before sports betting is legal in my head. You know what I mean? As far as online, it was legalized in Vegas, but as far as online, like they've always had their hand into giving you the show. It's entertainment. Yeah, the guys that compete are real. Yeah, the sport that they play is real, but how these teams are formed and where these guys go, I think there's a lot of scripting and going into that. Bro. That's just my opinion.
No, bro. All right. So I already told Jay. Y'all already know. For those of you who watch, y'all know I have deep moments.
Okay.
I have deep moments, bro.
All right, let's go deep moments.
So I think it even goes deeper than that. Personally, when it comes to the NBA, I think that there are already people selected out. Families that have children that are selected out years before they even get to the NBA.
Okay.
They are groomed.
No, I can agree with that.
I even think it can go deeper to the fact of people. Y'all already know. We already have my story, so y'all already know. I have evidence that the Illuminati exists.
Yeah, no, they exist.
Real quick, my encounter with the Illuminati.
Hold on.
I gotta brace myself for this. What?
Wait. Encounter with they approached you.
Yes.
Randomly.
Yeah. And so I believe that people get into it. They and there's certain levels to it. There's certain agreements, certain contracts within it, and people make deals that when such and such gets to a certain age, this is what such and such is going to do.
Yeah.
All right. For example, and no.
No, man, I'll host a show called The Horse's Mouth.
Yes, sir. Shout it out.
Right?
Shout it out.
I host a show called The Horse's Mouth. One thing about me, I'm raw, I'm real authentic on my show. So if Dave has a raw, D.E.B.O got a raw, you know what I'm saying? Real authentic moment, I'm gonna make him say, look, we're not hiding.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man. Pop it.
You know who Jared McCain is?
Jared McCain, NBA player?
Yeah.
Like the 76ers? Yeah. He's injured right now. Yeah.
He's injured right now. He started off on TikTok.
Okay.
He was always good even in high school. That's actually where I actually found out about him, through TikTok, like back in 2020 when he was playing in high school. Okay. And he was doing all the TikTok dances, everything. I personally believe he was selected.
Okay.
I think, and then they pushed him. And I like Jared, though. No disrespect. He probably could never, attest to what I'm saying, but I believe he was selected, to push an agenda, because he's big on the fingernails coloring his.
Oh, see, I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't know about
I mean, look,
that's like
I don't keep up. I have a TikTok, bro, but I'm not on it.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I feel you.
I watch the game from a player's perspective. When I'm watching the game, I'm not even looking for I don't look for the style and the sneakers and at their hands. I'm looking at the ball go in the hoop. You know what I'm saying? But no, keep going. Tell me more. Tell me more, because I'll give you my perspective.
So it's a big controversy, and it started because he went to Duke. He went to Duke for a year. But he, people were getting on him because he would always color his fingernails, whether it be like for like whatever style he's wearing or for like the team he's playing for. Like and now he has a big brand deal with an actual nail polish company. So he's
good for him
doing nail polish promotions.
Good for him.
On Instagram for these companies. But I believe he was selected.
Oh no, bro, it is. All right, so I'm gonna give you my perspective on that. All right, 100%. If you've ever played NBA 2K, you know that there's an attribute that doesn't affect the style of play or even your gameplay, but it does affect your money, and it's called marketability. Now you see, here's the thing. There's 4 ways that the NBA make money: sell tickets, sell merchandise, TV deals, endorsements. There's other ways that you can try to get around it and make a 5, 6, but those 4 is where they making their cheese at. So the fact of the matter is this: if Jared McCain already has a popular following on TikTok and he's already playing at an elite level, of course we're going to select him and push him higher in the draft. Because he probably has followers that don't watch the NBA that are now going to tune into the NBA because they want to see Jared McCain. This is not nothing new. It's just not nothing new. You got to understand. They stopped they stopped drafting off of just basketball reasons years ago. Okay. You can honestly say, bro, you can honestly say a lot of the top 5 picks, even going back to Lonzo Ball. And I got no problem with Lonzo Ball. In fact, I like the ball. I 100% give 100%. I 100% acknowledge LeVar Ball for doing what he did as a father. But let's talk about the NBA. The Ball brothers were a social media, YouTube, basketball sensation. They was known from Jets. High school kids. Okay, so they was already being selected and talked about being in draft mock. They were making mock drafts with the Ball brothers in current. So what happens? Okay, we can even and to me, this is what makes Danny Ainge one of the greatest NBA general managers of all time. You got the #1 pick in Boston. You know that LA, because LA has sold on the Lonzo Ball experience, like you said, he was selected. Before even proving his worth on the NBA level, he was selected. Before even proving his worth on a college level, he was selected. Okay, so because he was selected and LA was the perfect fit for the selection at the time, and for basketball reasons too. Lonzo Ball was not a bad basketball pick, okay, but he was a better market pick than he was a basketball pick. You get what I'm saying? At that time, I don't know on what planet was they must have been smoking some of the best gas on this side of the Mason-Dixon. I don't know on what planet they had Markelle Fultz better than Jason Tatum. I don't care what he did in Washington. He ain't playing the ACC, and at that time the ACC is the best basketball, and Jason Tatum was the best player in the nation in the ACC. So on what planet? That has to be one of the biggest blunder in Philadelphia history. Boston has the first pick. He was already going to get Tatum. General manager Danny Ainge makes it seem like he's actually interested in Markelle Fultz. But he knows Philly is over the hills with Markelle Fultz. So he baits Philly into trading the swap pick. Now you getting Jason Tatum for 3rd pick money instead of 1st pick money. And he stayed on the team ever since. Where's Markelle Fultz at? He ain't at Philly. I think he in Orlando after bouncing around a few times. Where's Lonzo Ball at? He not in LA. I think he in Chicago after bouncing around a few times. You feel what I'm saying? Marketability Jared McCain happens to be a good player. He's injured now. We'll see how the rest of his career go. Even Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was chosen. Okay, he couldn't live up to the stardom and the demands that come with being an elite basketball player. He's still elite, but he can't. He's not social. He's not media trained. He ain't ready.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, bro, is that in a society where I can look at you and dictate how much potential jerseys you'll sell based off of how many fans you have on social media, does give you a higher chance of being drafted.
With this whole concept of people being selected, all right, I'm gonna tell you this, and you may know about this already, but there are people who work at TikTok. This is when TikTok was not going through this whole issue of being bought, sold, things like that, when it was popular, like 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
There were specific workers at the offices in LA, in New York City, who would actually watch they would scroll different videos. They would actually look to see who they qualified as a viral person, and all they would have to do is push a button, and it would push their videos. So that's how. So people are actually selected.
Sometimes the videos that end up going viral, chosen by a human being.
There is actually a system in the TikTok backend that enables TikTok and ByteDance employees to give specific videos a little push.
TikTok and its parent company ByteDance and obtained internal documents that reveal that company staff have the ability to secretly handpick specific videos and supercharge their distribution. It's a process known as heating.
I'm just telling you that, that's not.
I mean, dude, Vine was like that.
Yeah.
I mean, TikTok is just what Vine should have before Instagram bought out Vine.
Yeah.
That's all TikTok is. I don't even really look, TikTok is an industry plant, not from the entertainment perspective, but it's an industry plant on a governmental spying on Americans perspective.
That's exactly right.
And it's like this.
Yeah.
When you go overseas, your TikTok gonna change.
Yep.
Your content gonna change. Yep. It's gonna change based off of what not only the citizens perpetuate and put out, but it's gonna change based off of the laws of speech, etc., based on what the government allows to be put out. So when you go to China, and it's a lot of educational, and it's a lot of welding, it's a lot of electrician, it's a lot of plumbing, it's a lot of martial arts, a lot of sports, when it's a lot of that content. Now their kids are a lot smarter, but then for us is, dances and entertainment and constant stupidity being perpetuated over and over and over again. Then now you have an issue where you have like the city of Milwaukee, for an example, that has an illiterate level of 98% amongst the black population. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, and I don't attribute all of that to TikTok.
Yeah.
But I attribute the small attention span to not want to learn how to read and all that extra stuff, willing to look at TikTok instead of diving in to a book. So all of that ties into. And that's why when you even go into the Illuminati, see, I don't think that the average person feels like the Illuminati doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I think that the average person denies who they love is in the Illuminati, number one. And then number two, the Illuminati has as much power as we claim that it has. It's like the greatest trick that the devil ever played is to make people feel like he don't exist.
Exactly.
If you have no fear of hell, you got no reason to go to heaven.
Yeah.
So it's like,
come on,
you get what I'm saying? So it's it's like the rationality between life and death normally dies between two things. Okay, why am I here, which is purpose, and who am I here for, which is family. So life starts at that, purpose and family. When I'm born, I say mama. When I'm 3, people are already telling me what I'm going to be before I'm even able to form sentences. So it's all about purpose and family. As you get older in life, you didn't find out about vanity. You didn't find out about love. You didn't find out about money and finances. All the things that life teaches you. But from the size of coming out your mom, you are purpose and family. So When you go beyond purpose and family and you include every experience of life, what are you left with? Selection.
Yeah.
Natural selection. Tip of the top food chain.
Yeah.
I'm not, if I was born, this is why I tell people you can't even look at it as an insulting thing, because if I was born 7 feet, curly hair, same face, same athleticism, blase blah, same personality, vibrant, and the NBA hit me up and was like, yo, I'm trying to sell you? What do you think I'll do? I'm 7 feet. Living in a capitalist society is all about supply and demand. I can create whatever product I want. If there's no demand for the product, I'm going out of business. I can have as much supply as I want. If there's no demand for the product, I'm going out of business. The only situation where you're in a good spot is when you got so much demand, you ain't got the supply. So the NBA has a lot of demand, and they just happen to have the supply. You can't get mad at how they operate. You the one not operating.
Yeah.
So it's like, you even look at NIL. You even the music industry, the acting industry, Hollywood in the whole. Let's take all the evil and spiritual stuff out of it, which there is in it. But let's just take all of the homosexuality, all of the claims, the dittiness, everything out of it. Let's take it all out of it, and let's just leave it at talent. Let's just leave it at talent. Let's take it all out of it.
That's deep.
Right? True or false? Talent alone. Biggie Smalls still gonna be Biggie Smalls. True or false? Talent alone.
False.
Okay.
I'm saying false.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you what.
No. I'm gonna ask you another question, and I'm gonna ask you about both artists. Okay. True or false? Tupac gonna be Tupac no matter what. True or false?
I'm gonna say false.
False. Now give me both your reasons.
Okay. Now, and this is why. This is. I shout out to my cousin Micah, because we had this conversation, a similar conversation to this months ago, and I gave him the example of Lizzo, and I said the only reason why Lizzo became Lizzo is because there was a push at that time, big black girl movement.
No, I know about it.
Lizzo's voice is not the best.
It's not. I agree.
They just used her. She had a little platform.
She can't sing though.
She can sing okay.
Look, he's a vocalist. He deep into all that vocal stuff. Lizzo, look, I want you to hear it from me. If you ever hear this, I think you can sing. But what he's saying true though. You ain't got no Adele pipes.
Yeah. No. You
ain't got no Adele.
No.
And she can sing.
Yeah. But if Lizzo, at the time that Lizzo became discovered as a skinny girl, she would not be Lizzo today.
Okay.
So I take that concept, I bring it over to Biggie.
Okay.
In the 90s, early 90s, the big guy, the big hood guy, that was a movement. That was a movement. Okay. If Biggie was just skinny Biggie, he would not have gotten as far as I think he got in the industry. Okay. Tupac is that's a little because of things that I've heard from Craig, because Craig actually went to school at one point
with Tupac. Yeah.
And I believe, Pac was selected to carry out an agenda, and it unfortunately got him killed. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm gonna give you my perspective. All right. I believe Biggie would have made it, and here's my reason why. He brought out a style of hip hop and a style of cadence and flow that couldn't be replicated on a bar level, not necessarily on a storytelling level, but on a bar level. My boy said, "Black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks, rings and watch filled with rocks." Come on, Biggie made being. See, I feel like this, right? You right with the big image, but Biggie made being big sexy. Biggie made being big cool.
Biggie made being big like the embodiment of Biggie Smalls is that yes, I can rap. Yes, I am ugly. However, it's like,
all right.
Go ahead.
All right. So
go point.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but because
now he couldn't have done it without Diddy.
Couldn't have done it.
He couldn't have done it without Diddy. Let's just get that straight.
That's a whole other.
That's another conversation, but we gotta get look.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at the camera right now. I don't know if the camera really catching me, and I'm doing this with chip in hand.
Yep.
Okay. Fat, let me get up. I'm gonna come talk to you. Let me come talk to you real quick. Let me tell you something. Diddy the man.
Diddy.
Ain't worth a damn. Diddy the businessman. Diddy the record maker. Diddy the hit maker. Diddy the savant. Diddy the visionary. Now that's a totally different man than the monster that Sean Combs is.
My God.
Now we don't separate the man from his sins. We all make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. But Biggie wouldn't have made it without Diddy.
That's true.
And it's just that plain and simple. You could put that in your pipe and smoke.
Yeah.
Tupac would have made it without Suge though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The difference between Tupac and Biggie is Tupac. See, the reason why it was easier for Tupac to be selected, in my opinion, for the industry. Tupac had the talent, he had the looks. Those are two things that almost spike you up in the eyes of the industry. Whether it be music, whether it be modeling, whether it be acting. If you have the look and you have the talent, even if the talent is not cultivated, if it's enough to work with, they will take you.
No, that's true.
They will take you.
All right, but there are exceptions though, right? Like, I believe Lil Yachty. I'm not really much of a fan of your music, and that don't even matter. Your hustle is why you are where you are, bro.
Agreed.
You was not selected. You fought for it. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So there are exceptions.
There are exceptions.
But for the most part, who you normally see number one, but not Drake. See how I put it there? I don't care what no one says, bro. Drake has had the hardest path to fame as far as like being number one and maintaining his number oneness than a lot of like hip hop guys who were number one. Drake's level of competition that he's facing in hip hop is way deeper than just about any competition level from the dude. Because back in the day, bro, you could say all of the number one artists was really coming from either the North, from New York, became the South. It was all New York.
Yeah, it was New York.
And then you had a few West Side people.
My people.
It was all New York.
Oh, for real.
So like your competition is your neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for real.
It be in the bowl right next to you.
Some of the best talent is in the hood.
No, that's true.
Okay, and there's so many people.
That's why they get it out of there.
Yeah. And there's so much, even right now, there's so much talent in places that people are overlooking. But in order to go to a certain level, they want you to have something.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Who's done more for the culture, Drake or Kendrick? And what do you consider culture?
Ooh, okay.
Because that's the big question. Come on.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep coming to you because you my friend. Who do you consider done more for the culture, Drake or Kendrick? And what is culture?
What is culture?
What's culture, D.E.B.O?
All right.
Because you into the music, you know the music.
First thing I want to say, who I think has done more for the culture And I'm not going to say the culture as in black or white. I'm going to say the culture of this country.
Okay.
Culture of the Western world.
Okay.
Who has done more? I'm going to say Drake. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, what is culture? I believe culture is the is a movement of a society, and when I say movement of a society, the direction that a society is moving. All right. So, and it has components. Like, I believe a big part of what we would consider our culture today is entertainment. That's probably one of the biggest part of our culture right now.
For sure.
But culture changes. It changes over time. You know, culture, I believe, never stays the same. You know, like, I believe at one point our culture in this country wrapped around politics.
Yeah,
I'm not saying direct politics, but I'm talking about like the 50s, 60s, 70s. It was about all the laws that had to be warped, changed.
Mm-hmm. No,
for
I
people
agree.
to have a better life. That was the culture at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you know, just like I believe like the late 70s, 80s into the 90s, the culture of our world in this country was music.
Yeah.
But now it has expanded beyond music,
It's
entertainment.
It's entertainment as a whole.
Yeah.
We're in our celebratory era. That's what I tell people. I'm like, America is celebrating what its founders have done. And if it doesn't get off that, after a while, it'll fall. You can't stay drunk.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You can't stay drunk, bro.
Yeah.
You can't stay drunk. That's where our society is. Our society is drunk right now.
Yeah.
It's still celebrating the spoils of our founders.
Yeah.
And we drunk.
Yeah.
But you are exactly right, man. I think. All right, so I'm gonna say this: culture for the average American determines on the struggle of the person that's going through it. That's how America views culture. So when you say black culture, right? You'll say, okay, well, black culture could be considered. It could include the struggle of slavery, the struggle of segregation, the struggle of black on black violence, blah blah blah, all this extra stuff. But then there also are positives of black culture. The inventions that we never get credit for. The black millionaires that are self-made, the way that we've dominated the hair, the music, and the showmanship industry. The way that our our children, even now to this day, our children are the most used as far as modeling, as far as skincare, you know what I'm saying, routine, what it looks like to actually go from one thing. Dude, black is that. Black is that. Now, granted, when it comes to that, even that side of the culture, and that's why I'm like, music and black culture, who's done more, Drake or Kendrick? Drake. I'm tell you why. You remember God's Plan? You remember that video? How many people's tuition did Drake pay off in that video, bro? How many grocery baskets did he fill up and pay off in that video, bro? I've never seen Kendrick do any of that. Someone find me and tell me, show me the correction. I've never seen Kendrick drop millions and millions on people he never knew. Never seen that. All I'm saying is this. Half of Atlanta artists that exist right now exist because of Drake. Period. I'm also going to say this. A lot of Spanish artists that got a pop right now, popping because of Drake.
This is true. And it's not because, it's because this goes back to what I talked about, looks and talent. See, once somebody has a certain look, the industry can use that to branch off. They just need one person to have the look. And if that look goes somewhere, then they can have other people that can perpetuate that look.
Who gave you Kendrick? Who gave the culture Kendrick? Who put Kendrick on a national spotlight? Drake. Stop playing with me. Interviews, Kendrick telling everybody didn't nobody want to pick me because your music was boring. But Drake thought you was fire. You and A$AP Rocky See, I'm putting y'all on blast, bro. I'm putting y'all on blast, bro. Y'all wouldn't have the career y'all wouldn't have if it wasn't for Drake. So
Shout out to Rihanna, though.
Who's done more for the culture? Shout out Rihanna. She's done more for the culture than Kendrick. Keep it a buck.
She's a businesswoman, I tell you that.
What outside of being a black dude that won a poetry award that's Kendrick done for the culture? You can't say the whole Super Bowl thing. All of that was charged up to diss Drake.
Selected.
All of that was charged up to diss Drake.
And bro, have you heard of Jaguar Wright?
You know I have.
Okay. All right. So Jaguar Wright said something. She said, wouldn't it be a shame, but she believes that this will happen, but wouldn't it be a shame if what happened to Biggie and Tupac happened to Drake and Kendrick, unless both of them being knocked off?
It's possible.
I think it's possible.
I think it's possible. First off, Drake is doing more for the culture right now by suing UMG. If he wins, do you not know what that means for artists? Not only does it mean that you got to get paid your equal share, but it puts a spotlight that the industry does exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Selects, which means it's going to encourage more top artists to not sign deals. They're going to go more of the independent route. Mm-hmm. It's going to hurt the big man, and it's going to give the little man, meaning more independent artists, a shot at more fame.
Yeah.
Because look, without the marketing budget of these companies, they are nothing.
Yeah.
They are nothing.
Yeah.
Drake is big enough to himself now. I'm talking about when he was with Young Money. I'm talking about when he was on the ground. He's big enough. He could market himself. He don't need UMG. Kanye don't need nobody. These guys don't need nobody. So when they step out on their own, and when they step out to try to like test that water, what do these guys do? They bring down their value. What do these record companies do? They bring down their value. Drake worth $400 million on his last deal. His deal up. How much you think they trying to take from the man? Drake got your girl singing. I've never seen a female in my whole life get in the car and be like, play Kendrick. Never happened.
Baby girl.
They want to hear that Drake.
Baby girl, let me see you do your dance, let me see you twirl. Shake the club with your homegirls. Take a pic for the gram, show the whole world.
They want to hear that Sizzler. They want to hear that Summer Walker. They want to hear that Jacquees. They want to feel good. Women want to feel good. Kendrick make people upset.
Yeah.
His music makes you upset. What has Kendrick done for the culture outside of remind people that black people struggle and white people look down on us? What has he done outside of that? And he did beat his wife. He did hit Whitney in Las Vegas, Hard Rock Casino in September in 2014. That did happen. Look it up. I'm not over here playing with that man, bro. We got to get back on topic. I'm sorry, bro.
No, you good. Question. Kai Cenat. You know who Kai Cenat is, right?
Yes.
Do you think that Kai Cenat is an industry man?
No. I'll tell you why.
Shout out to Kai Cenat.
Shout out Kai Cenat.
You know.
Bro, I'm not going to hold you, Kai. I'm not a huge fan. Not because I don't like you. Just because I don't watch enough of your content. But the content that I have watched is phenomenal. You're creative and you're bringing an everyday lifestyle to the streaming space. That's something that's unique and it's refreshing, and you even make it comfortable enough for celebrities to recognize that your platform is big enough for them to come on there and to use you. They're using you to market themselves on your platform. Even if you paying them or whatever it may be, you're bigger than them now, bro.
Shout out to Kai Cenat.
Shout out Kai Cenat, bro.
Shout out to the Bronx. Y'all already know that's my fam out there.
Now, industry plant, Halle Berry. And not Halle Bailey. Haley Bailey. Haley, yeah, my bad, Holly. I ain't mean to do you like
Haley and Chloe.
Industry plant for sure. Now, granted, they did work hard too, but they still industry plants.
Yeah.
All right, they literally used you to pass a racial agenda that made no sense. So it's like there are streamers that I believe Neon is an industry plant. The Neon streamer, the one that Jello blew up off of. The guy with the glass. I believe he an industry plant. Because I believe he got bots on his stream And I believe that people be overhyping them.
Yeah, I agree. And
this ain't no diss to him either. But if he take it personal, I don't care.
Yeah, and I know you all know this. You know, the movement of AI, the movement of these bots, which will be considered under AI as well.
Yeah.
They are big. You know, and somebody had brought up, you know, how people have now been getting into, you know, Instagram arguments in the comments sections, right? But you're probably just arguing with a bot.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Dude, they're bot jobs. They're shadow jobs.
Yep.
People sign up for jobs thinking that the job is this and ain't no job. Just AI just making and creating jobs so that way people can say they got their applications.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe that guy with the glasses, Neon. I think he's a plan. I think that girl,
and this is no diss to him, but you're just not talented enough.
Yeah.
It's like you're not creative enough. Sorry, y'all. Shout out Tony Baker, one of the most talented, underrated comedians of all time. I keep his ringtone on me. But Leon, you just not talented enough for me to think that outside of either industry plant, meaning that the content or the developers of this platform that you use push your content to a point to where, and plus the bots, to where you are so visually seen that you have fans, even though I know a lot of your fans are kids, but it's still driven that way.
Yeah.
What Kai Cenat does, even if you want to say Kai Cenat is getting pushed, it's deservingly so because the level of content that he's creating is a level of entertainment that deserves the amount of viewership that has it.
I agree.
It's like, all right, it's like the difference between, and shout out to the greatest YouTuber of all time, Kane Carter. Hot Damn I Rock was the greatest channel that ever exists, and the fact that it got hacked and shut down is a tragedy. But shout out Kane Carter for being one of the best underground YouTube content creators to ever exist. Kane Carter is an example of talent that should be box office, but isn't box office for whatever reason. It could be because of the health issues or whatever. But when Kane Carter was on top of his groove, the type of content that he was putting out, whether it's Brotherly Love 1 or Three Little Pigs, he was putting out many movies. To me, Kane was like one of the first skit dudes that actually took it to that level to where you can say, okay, I can make this profitable.
Yeah. No
cap. And people don't give him, people like to give D.E.B.O and a lot of these other guys credits who blew up in the Vine era. No. Kane Carter 2005, 2004, 2006 running the game, bro. I'll never forget the story. Sandwiches was dinner and shit. Excuse my language, I'm just quoting him. But sandwiches was dinner and shit. My dad told me go get the bread. Had to run away from the barbershop. Blood. I remember all of that. I don't know if you ever seen. Kane Carter is he set out the blueprint for what everybody does today.
Yeah.
Even with your top 5 things men don't like about girls, top 5 ways how to cheat, the lover's theory, but all these little things that I'll even put it to the inspiration. Now, granted, they may have not have got this inspiration directly from Kane, but the idea of women combating against men over why you are not it comes from Kane. So Pop the Balloon is an inspiration of Kane.
Oh, that's crazy.
So Kane Carter, for real, Kane Carter does not get the respect he deserves. And it's sad that his channel's been taken down due to it being hacked. But if you go and you look up Hot Damn I Rock, his fans put his content back out. They've downloaded his stuff over the years and have put it back out. That lets you know the type of impact he had on the YouTube world.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you get into that, what the YouTube world is now, which is more or less based off of streamers or guys like Drewski, Skit Funny, Parody Funny, who be making fun of things. Bro, where do you get the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis? When I was that broke, my mama bought me all of this. The Mario hat with the Luigi hat. Where do you think all of this is coming from?
Yeah.
It's all inspired by one dude. And it gets to a point to where Kane was so heavily impactful on his YouTube career, his YouTube comedic career, that actual stand-up comedians was taking shots at him.
Wow.
So that's why I'm just like, the Jerry Levine Juniors of the world, the Kane Carters of the world, the Spoken Reasons before Spoken Reasons got lame. Dang, what was my other guy name? PewDiePie. All of these guys, the OG Uber Hexanova, all of these guys that Forest Fire 101 with the Lego Batman videos, all of these guys set the foundation for what YouTube. Fred. Mm-hmm. They set the foundation of what YouTube and what streaming is today. They made it make sense to do this because they made it profitable. Yeah. Without them, there is no Kai Cenat. Yeah. There is no Speed. There is no Drewski. There is none of these dudes. They don't exist without them because the only way you can market yourself in a capitalistic market is if it makes money. Yeah. And if you ain't making it no money, then it don't make no sense.
Yeah. Stay on this industry role for a minute.
Okay.
And, I just want to bring up Michael Jackson, and I shared this with him a little bit beforehand. I just wanted to point out Michael Jackson, as I have pointed out a few episodes ago in regards to Angie Stone and her passing. And she, weeks before her passing, she was doing a video on Instagram and on YouTube about she was not getting her royalties, the residuals, in regards to publishing things that she had in the industry. And a video came out probably about a week ago of this lady who claimed when Angie Stone vehicle turned over, and she, they say she passed away. She was the only person to pass away in that vehicle when it turned over. But somebody came out and said that she was pulled out of that vehicle, and then another vehicle ran over her, and that's how she actually died. Now, I'm going to do my research. Y'all already know I already do my research. So, on another episode, I'm going to have all the facts for you. But the reason why I'm bringing her up and bringing up Michael Jackson is because Michael Jackson, as many people know, he had a big hand in Sony at the time of his death. He had a big hand in the Beatles catalog, right? And I believe that him, along with other people, when they get too much power in a certain industry, specifically the music industry, then they have to be removed.
Yeah, no, for sure. I 4,000% agree with you. That's why what Drake is doing now is so important.
Yeah,
that's why I'm literally saying that Drake has done more for the culture than Kendrick. Him doing this alone is more than anything Kendrick has done. Think about Michael Jackson's time period, right? Like the time period you're specifically angling towards his death. What was he specifically trying to do?
Trying to get his royalties
and his masters and all that other stuff. He wanted to do his own thing. Okay. What was Prince trying to do before he died?
Same thing.
Here's a good one for you. See, those two are always talked about.
Yeah.
What was Kobe trying to do before he died? He was getting out of that Nike deal.
Yeah.
Kobe wanted to start his own shoe company. Kobe wanted to do everything Mamba.
Yep.
Everything Mamba.
He had a lawsuit, what I believe.
Now look, this is just a theory.
Yeah.
It's no facts backing what I'm saying unless somebody else hear this and they start talking about it. It's just a theory. I believe the upper shoe guys, and it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. I believe that they conspired and took out Kobe. I feel like everybody else was just collateral damage. But Kobe was targeted.
Yeah.
Ain't no way in the world you flying in that.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Bro, and
you're not flying in that on purpose.
And can I say this? I need y'all to, now I'm gonna have a deep moment, y'all. All right?
Well, got a deep moment.
Having a deep moment, okay? And this will probably lean towards our wrapping up. It seems like whenever I have deep moments, that's the flow of the wrapping up. I don't know why that happens. It just seems to be a consistent thing. But if you will go back on episode 15, episode 16, episode 21, episode 22, and 23, I specifically pointed out in those episodes about the industry and the parts of the industry that deal with witchcraft. All right? And I'm bringing that up in regards to the whole Kobe situation, when there were actual cartoon episodes that were predicting his death.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm saying that is people seem to, and it's in your face, but I'm telling you, people have reported this over and over and over, that if they want to take people out, they can do rituals to take people out. They can do things spiritually to take people out. That's why, and I'm going deep now. That's why it is important to have a relationship with God.
No cap.
Because it makes a difference in regards to people trying to do hexes on you, trying to do spells on you. That stuff is real, bro.
It is. That's
It's
4,000% real. It's
Absolutely
4,000% real. Like I said earlier in the vid, or earlier in our conversation, the greatest thing the devil ever did was to make you think he don't exist.
Exactly.
If you don't think the devil exists, you got no fear of living life.
Fear.
Yeah, if you have no fear of the devil, you got no fear of God.
Mm.
If you're not afraid of a lower level op, you're not even gonna think about being afraid of the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Yeah.
You wouldn't even think he exists.
Yeah.
So the greatest thing and that's why the greatest thing the devil ever did was to make people think he don't exist, is because him making people think he don't exist is making people think God don't exist.
Yeah.
So it's like he really hitting two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
So going back to the industry point, who is the God of the industry? Satan.
Yeah.
That's not private knowledge.
Yeah.
You can look at Doja Cat, just to name a few of the most recent ones.
Yeah. Sam Smith.
Oh man, he wilding out.
He is wilding. I used to really like. I used to like. He got vocals on him. You know, I really used to like his music when he first came out. He had vocals on it. He still got vocals, but he deep in the dark.
Let me tell you something, bro.
Deep in the dark.
This probably my last stand-up moment. I don't like man. That means no homo. This ain't got nothing to do with the LGBT community. You can be gay. It don't bother me. You don't pay my bills. You don't take care of my family. And you're not on my TV screen. But let me tell you this. Leave them kids alone. Y'all better leave them kids alone, bro.
Leave the kids alone.
Let them kids have a nice childhood. Grow up normal. Don't be forcing sexual education on kindergartners. Don't be forcing sexual education on K3, K4. Don't be forcing gender identity on 6-year-olds.
Yeah, I agree.
You feel me?
It's just like
that's my issue with y'all.
Yeah, like anything else. 18 and older. Make your decisions then.
Look, don't be out here.
Don't push stuff on.
I'm talking to you too, D-Wade.
And even adults.
Right.
Even adults,
talking to all y'all.
That's a whole nother topic. But that's one thing I don't like. I don't like it in general. I don't like people trying to push stuff on people. You have one life to live. Don't try to make your life somebody else's.
Come on now, preach, bro. Preach, D.E.B.O.
Don't
preach, D.E.B.O.
bro. That has always disturbed me because people, and I know some people think they have the best intentions. I'm not talking about the politics. I'm just talking about people, personal people that you have in your life who will try to push things on you. Yeah. Thinking that it's not your life. It's my life.
Facts.
You have to do what you have to do, and I have to do what I have to do.
That's why I said that's my biggest problem with the LGBT community. I don't have no issue with y'all being gay, bro. It's a sin, yes. Am I praying for y'all? Yes. Jesus hates the sin. God hates the sin, but he loves the person. Jesus loved the person. I got no issue with y'all as people, okay? But the moment y'all start targeting kids, the moment y'all start targeting the innocent, and y'all forcing agendas, y'all are forcing agendas. That's exactly what it is. Putting it in video games, putting it in movies, putting it in Disney Junior. Got cartoons talking about I don't know if I'm a boy cow or a female cow. I'm right in the middle. No, bro, no more of that. No more of that, gang. And I said that was gonna be my last get up moment. There's only 2 genders, bro. Y'all can do whatever y'all want as far as speech, because that's y'all free speech. But until they go to college and want to make a decision for themselves, there's only 2 genders, bro. Straight up. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
I agree.
And if you got a problem with me, I won't smoke. You can find me at the horse's mouth. I don't believe people born gay. I do believe it's a decision. And I still ain't got no issue with you. I can work with you. If we on a play, I can act with you. I can play ball with you. I can do all of that with you. But it's still two genders. It's still a choice. And you're not going to touch them kids. It's that plain and simple. If you want to be a superhero, put on costume and pretend like you something else, you want to role play Dungeons and Dragons for your whole life, go ahead. But it ain't normal. You still got linebacker shoulders. Your hands still big. You still got man feet. And you can't produce. So you can play, you can put on the costume all you want, bro. When you die, your autopsy is gonna say still nigga.
And this is from the horse's mouth.
This is from the horse's mouth. This is coming from my mouth. When you die, if they study you in biology, your skeleton is going to say male. It's not going to say female. Your DNA is going to say male. Your birth certificate say male. So at the end of the day, two genders. Leave it at that.
You heard it.
You heard it from me. You caught me while I was getting the mail.
Bro, we're about to wrap up, but there's one more thing that I just want to touch on.
Okay.
Real quick. So, have you heard the movement that seems to be? I don't know why it is, and that's why I want your opinion on it. In regards to the space travel, like they're getting all these celebrities, they're getting these influencers now. Just so-called they're going to space.
Okay.
The latest one I heard was Gayle King, Oprah's best friend.
Okay.
She's supposed to be going to space.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you think they're trying to push the space thing?
Well, all right. Going into our previous conversation we had before, or remember me and you talking about how like God renovates. Okay. In order for the Bible to be true, people have to try to go to space. So yes, I do believe that they're trying things that they shouldn't be trying, but they have to. In order for the Antichrist to make sense to all the idiots in the world that believe in him, things have to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my perspective on it, 100%. Yeah. The Antichrist is alive right now. He's already been born. It's all a matter of, all right, everything coming out of my mouth is from my mouth, bro. It's all theories. If you want to find some facts to disprove me, then whatever. I don't care. But I believe the Antichrist is alive right now. I believe there's certain things that has to happen before he can make his real move. But I believe he's alive right now. And I also believe that that all of the things as far as the space and the CERN and trying to communicate with extraterrestrials and them, and that's why I low-key am thankful of Trump for him in Doge for going through all this money and seeing where it's being spent.
Yeah.
All because we need to know.
Yeah.
You feel me? We need to know. We need to know as American citizens. We need to know where the tax dollars are being spent. Exactly. And if they out here experimenting on things they don't need to be experimenting on, I need to know.
I agree with that.
So there are certain things that science has to evolve to in order for the full embodiment of revelation to take place. Gotcha. So yes, they're going to space. You get what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like that's my perspective. Yeah. And I don't care if no preacher is teaching that. I've never considered myself a guy that says things that popular opinion that fit the popular opinion anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm very controversial. That's why I always say I'm raw, I'm real, I'm authentic. Yeah. What comes from me is my mouth. I genuinely believe we are on the cusp. And that's why I feel like there's another world war that has to happen. There's a lot of things that has to happen. It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable because the Bible already said it was going to happen. In order for Jesus to come back, and I don't care what no one say, Jesus is not coming back before the tribulation. Y'all, if your faith is based on avoiding the tribulation, you've been lied to your whole life.
You know,
Matthew 24.
bro, in this life.
Matthew 24. See, everybody want to talk about what another man told them.
Yeah.
If you heard Jesus is coming back before the tribulation, you heard that from a man. Jesus never told you that himself.
Yeah.
But Jesus told you what happens in Matthew 24.
Yeah.
Those his words.
Yeah. I will say this. I'm going to say this.
That ain't his opinion, it's mine.
Yeah. No. I'm going to say this. Okay. And I'm glad you brought that up because I believe it's time for people to think. And when I say people, I'm specifically talking about people who call themselves Christians. People,
Yeah.
We've been caught up in mediocrity in regards to like religion for too long, right? So it's time for people to think. And whether you believe what he just said or you don't believe what he said, you need to build yourself up. If you call yourself a Christian, you need to build yourself up to a point where if you were living in the tribulation, would you be able to stay a Christian?
Exactly. My whole point is
to be afraid.
Literally, that's what I literally said in my point. I said if your whole reason for serving God is to avoid the tribulation, you're doing it all for the wrong reason.
You're doing it for the wrong reason. You have to be strong.
Exactly.
You know, that's the. Okay, I gotta wrap up because I know I'm being deep in it. Yeah.
He gonna have another deep moment.
Have a deep moment.
He gonna have a deep moment.
That's the one. And, oh man, I wasn't trying to go here. It was in my mind, but I wasn't trying to go here. The whole issue with Marvin Sapp.
There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's 40,000.
You can push it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be done.
I'm gonna be done. It's raw. It's time to be authentic. Let's do it. Drop it.
The issue I have, and like I said, shout out to Marvin Sapp in regards to your music.
Facts.
Okay, never would have made it. Got me through some times. Okay, so you have credibility with music
for sure.
Just like I believe another pastor in Atlanta who used to be in Charlotte has credibility with music. I'm not going to bring his name up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can stay anonymous.
but the issue I have, which is something that has been in the quote unquote black denominational churches, you cannot con people. You can't and then put God's name on it.
Okay.
And now. I'm gonna tell you this. Now this is real deep. I'm gonna tell you something I never shared it personally, but we're gonna put it out here.
Okay.
I had a dream one time, and the dream was I was seeing all these pastors. They started off as artists, like gospel artists.
Okay.
But now they're all pastors.
Okay.
Right, and they were looking forward, and in front of them they were looking at what appeared to be angels, right? And behind the angels was God.
Okay.
All right. But you know how the Bible says angel of lights, right? There's only one reference when the Bible says angel of lights. It's always referring to demons. Regular God's angels are never referred to as angel of lights. All right. So in this dream, I saw these angels were referred to as angels of lights. And so the deception was that these gospel artists who were becoming pastors were looking at these angel of lights because they were saying the right thing. They were giving them the right message that looked like God, but they could only go to so far in regards to the things of God because they were looking at angel of lights.
Okay, I like that.
The same concept is within the denominational of churches, that things look like it's godly, but when you take the veil behind it, God is not in it. That's why you have all these, it's always like you go to these denominational churches and like, oh, give $1,000 seed. give $1,000. You can be in Charlotte, you can be in New York City, you can be in LA, and you'll hear the same people. God, no.
Nah,
no.
I'm not going. I'm not even going far. I'm not going to go far from what you said.
I don't believe that every place like that you end up going to all these different churches and it's God. No, God does not always want you to give $1,000 seed.
God wants you to get 10%, and then if He asks you to do more, it's called the offering.
Yeah, and let me say this: I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm gonna say something controversial. Whatever. You should not be giving if you don't have faith.
That's right.
Because that is the connection.
That is the whole purpose.
That is the connection to it going beyond you just giving your money. It's having faith in God that God can do something with your money. And like your grandfather used to say, it ought to be good ground.
That's right.
If it can't be proven with your eyes that it's actually doing something to help the community and help lift people up, you shouldn't be giving anything at all. But I'm gonna share this with you guys. I remember one time I was in church and I was mad at God. I was mad at God, like in regards to, like, I was giving tithes and offering, whatever. But I was just like, God, I don't, what's the purpose? Like, I feel like it's a waste of my time, like just giving my money.
Mm-hmm.
And so the offering bucket was about to come around. I was, even while I'm mad having this conversation in my head, I still have my money I was going to give. And I heard God so clear say, don't give me anything. I heard it so clear. And so the bucket went past me and I put my money back in my pocket. And I heard God say this more calmly to me: I don't need anything.
Mm-hmm.
That moment right there began to take me on a journey in regards to trusting God.
Yeah.
And I'm still struggling with that in certain areas of my life. Okay.
That's a constant battle with everybody.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, but the concept was, you're not supposed to just give me money just because you think. It's a relationship. There ought to be faith involved with it. Like the Bible says, God loves a cheerful giver, right? So this is I'm just telling you my experience. I've seen it play out. I've seen it help me. It's still developing me right now. But you should not be giving money to a church if you ain't got faith.
No, that's a fact. And I'm gonna add a small part to it, and then I'll be done with it.
Yeah.
Because I got my own feeling about exposing preachers who be taking money.
Yes, sir.
If God's called you to be an artist, He called you to be an artist. He didn't mean He called you to be a pastor.
Come on. If
God called you to be a pastor, He called you to be a pastor. You can take a swing at being an artist.
Yeah.
But that's not your calling, bro.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is
Yep.
when you start when you just an artist and you make music for God, there's a base level of responsibility to a role model. Base level, meaning, yes, because you are an example of who Jesus was through art form, you still a human.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seen as, like, I'm not looking up to Lecrae for the best examples of what Christianity is.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at Andy Mineo or Miles Minnick or 1K Few for the best options of biblical, like, discernment.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at them for that.
Yeah.
Why would I look at them for that? I'm not looking at Kirk Franklin to help me with anything biblical. Why would I? Because he can sing about God? No. But when you take on that shepherd role, preacher, pastor, evangelist, teacher,
Yep.
when you take on that social shepherd role of the word, now you're held to a higher accountability.
That's right.
And you got to be more careful with what you say. And God didn't tell you to say it.
Yep.
Even if you want to take an altar call up, it's way more manly. And I'm not doing this to walk because I said I wasn't going to do it no more.
Yeah.
I just had to get loose. It's way more manly and way more godly to admit, hey guys, we need money.
That's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The church not free.
Yep.
Church has bills, etc. Right. And we want to help people, and the only way we're gonna be able to help people is if y'all give.
Yep.
And even then, you not forcing them to give by closing the doors.
Yeah.
You saying that's up to you, and you give whatever God encourages you to give. And if you feel like you don't need to give, then you don't need to give.
Yeah.
And you keep that separate from the tithe.
Yeah.
See, the problem with a lot of y'all out here is think that because you serve God, your livelihood should be good.
Yeah.
So because it should be good, I'm gonna take advantage of the people. I'm just saying for real. Like a lot of people got the impression that because your livelihood, because you serve God, your livelihood should be good. But that's not how it works. Faith without works is dead.
Sir.
God said have both spiritual, natural, and skillful wisdom. You gotta have all three.
Sir.
So you go ahead.
Bro, okay. I wasn't never going to say this out loud. It was just something between me and God, okay? But there's a scripture when Jesus is commissioning out his disciples to go out and to, start doing ministry. He told them, when people offer you stuff, don't collect it, don't take it.
Yeah.
If pastors had that real type of heart, real type of concept, first of all, there wouldn't be all these churches.
Facts.
And then you would be left with the real people, the real church, the real pastor, with the real heart.
You can always, my granddad, the late Pastor Robin Gould,
shout out to him.
Shout out PG, always said this: you can tell their calling by their fruit. Not by just their work, but by their fruit. There's a lame out here using my granddad's name, and he ain't got no fruit. You can tell a lot. I ain't even gonna name drop him. It's not necessary for this time. But all I'm saying is, you can tell the efforts, not only through his actions of how he delivers his word, but the results.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people want to come at some ministers. Look, if that minister is an author, if that minister is a motivational speaker, because what I do when I'm not preaching on Sunday is not your business. If I get paid to go do a mail conference and they're paying me and flying me out and I'm speaking, that's business. That's not taken from the church. I'm just letting y'all know, man. Like, yes, God wants you to not be poor. Yes, God wants you to be financially free. Yes, God wants you to have an abundance. But he don't want it to be like a showman. Look at me. Look at me. All the glory goes to God. If you rich and you serve God, then you're not rich because of you. You rich because God opened up doors that no man could shut.
That's good.
And I'm going to leave it at that, man.
That's good. Bro, that was good.
Man, D.E.B.O.
Bro.
That's how we do it, man.
Shout yourself out. Shout.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want to shout out.
Like I said, guys, and like he said, my name's Robin.
Yes,
Robin
sir.
Gould. I go by Robinson. That's my artist name. I make music. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a social media company. You can follow me at The Robington, at The Robinson on all social media platforms. You can add me on Facebook at Robin Joms Gould. That's JOHMSROBYNGOOL. And y'all can just hit me up anytime if you want to check out the Horse's Mouth podcast. Subscribe to it. I'm building it up now. Right now, I'm chasing down losers, and then I'm also, I got some little fun, free content too. But yeah, man, I run I do so much.
Yeah. I
got a betting company with the social thing. I got a Telegram. Just reach out, man. Let's have fun.
Yeah, bro. And before we wrap up, I just wanna personally look you in the eye, bro, and say I am absolutely proud of you, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that, bro.
I am truly,
man, it touches me,
truly
man. For real,
amazed, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I'm truly amazed.
Thank you, bro.
I'm for real.
Hey, man, we gotta write our own way out, one way or another.
Bro.
We gotta write our way out, man.
Bro, and I appreciate you for taking the time.
I appreciate you, man.
You, bro,
y'all don't even know this man is he a legend amongst many men. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all don't know D.E.B.O, but I know D.E.B.O. D.E.B.O's like that.
All right, you guys. All right. Again, it's your boy D.E.B.O. This has been a moment with D and SOSA. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love y'all. You already know what it is, and we're out.
Peace. All right, man. That was a word, bro.
Yes,
that was
sir.
good. That was good.
Bro,
and it was fresh,
good.
too.
Yeah.
A lot of fresh topics, up to date.